Orchestral. Tommy, when a pikey walks in with hair like that, you've got to ask yourself, have I made a mistake?
Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck am I?
Who the fuck is this?
Hey man, welcome back to my basement for the weekend binge. You know what I do here. I see what movies are coming out in theaters, make a fun little list of movies that we can binge on Netflix or Amazon based off said movie. Up this week, very, very excited, we got Venom coming out. No, not that fucking movie, not Spider-Man 3. I'm talking about the new Venom with Tom Hardy. Let's peep the trailer.
I'm Eddie Brock. I'm a reporter.
I always seem to find myself questioning something the government may not be looking at. That power.
I've been waiting for a good Venom movie for a long time. Okay, they got the look down. Shit looks creepy. The CGI looks alright, but I would have given it one more pass.
Oh, I have a power to save.
Wait, what the hell did Tom just say? Rewind that.
Oh, I have a power to save.
Huh? Yeah, no clue what the fuck he just said.
Giant leaps will always come at a cost.
So as you can see, we got Riz Ahmed on our list again, 2 weeks in a row. But more importantly, we got Tom Hardy finally leading a superhero movie where he doesn't have a mask in front of his face. But similar to Bane, I'm having a lot of trouble understanding what he's actually saying. So for this week, I'm thinking of doing Tom Hardy movies that also has him doing accents that we really can't understand that well. So first up, we got Legend, AKA the Cockney accent.
What's this, the old Dagenham Anglia? 0 to 60 in what, 40 minutes, something like that?
Legend was a highly anticipated movie from a few years ago that had Tom Hardy playing the infamous Cray twins from England. In it, we follow the older brother Reggie as he tries to control the psychopathic tendencies of his younger brother Ronnie, because this motherfucker is crazy.
What I'm trying to tell you is that he's off his fucking rocker. It's called Stematol. You need to give it to your brother twice a day. Oh, it's going to be serious trouble.
What is that?
Yeah, what do you think, Puff? It's a fucking tool.
No, it's not. It's a fucking rolling pin. Who are you, Fanny Craddock? What are you going to do with that? You going to bake me a cake?
He walks into a bar.
But what was supposed to be an epic gangster picture starring two Tom Hardys quickly devolved into a run-of-the-mill and deeply flawed biopic that offered up nothing new or original. Those accents, though, were fucking priceless. Raw and cockney as hell, there is a very specific drawl that just rolls off Tom Hardy's tongue, of course not knowing entirely what he's usually saying.
Warming up. So, what do you think? Do you think that we look alike, me and Reggie?
Oh, yeah, certainly.
No, you don't. You think that he's beautiful and I've got a face like a gorilla's ass.
I really wanted to like that movie. It's just all over the place, though. But leave it to Tom Hardy to take an okay movie and still blow it out the water. Which leads us to our next movie. Another movie that doesn't really involve water, but does involve Tom braving the elements. The Revenant, AKA the Grizzly Bear accent. Let's take a look. Taking place in frontier America during the fur trade, The Revenant follows Philip Glass, played by Leo DiCaprio, as he tries to survive a bear attack so that he can exact his revenge on the man that murdered his son, played by the grizzled bear himself, Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy has this quality of making his voice and accent somehow connect with the overall tone and style of the movie he's in. There is this gravely salt-of-the-earth rasp to Tom's voice that makes him equally menacing, while also somewhat sagacious.
What life you talking about? I ain't got no life. I just got living. The only way I get to do that is through these pelts. Fuck!
Being able to convey that quality and not come off as a cartoonish villain is not easy. And even though you really want Leo to fuck up Tom in the end, you appreciate Tom's gangster.
We had a deal, Glad. tried to tell your boy, all right? I tried to tell him what was happening, but he won't listen, and he kept on screaming. And he was gonna get everybody killed.
Whew. Fucking Tom Hardy was so good in this movie. He was such an evil asshole. Ah, Nick's here. Come in. Okay.
Hey.
You said you were gonna be late, but we're like halfway through with this already.
Sorry, I got stuck behind 2 lorries, a double-decker bus, and a fire engine.
Okay, I know that's a lie, but did you get the right food?
Do I look like a cunt?
You don't want me to answer that question. All right, let me see what you got in here.
Well, you said you wanted spicy.
I did.
And as you know, England, kind of the main motif of our cuisine is bland.
This is true. This is true. So you guys just did the appropriation thing, I see.
Yeah, a little cultural appropriation.
I appreciate that.
It's what our nation is built on, and got us a vindaloo.
Okay, so the reason why I asked you to get something super spicy is because we're doing Tom Hardy accents that are hard to understand. And I wanted to eat something that might make me a little hard to understand after I start eating it.
Yeah, it will certainly give you that that raspy voice thing.
Exactly, the Revenant voice.
Yeah,
that you got.
exactly.
Okay. So what was the worst American doing a British accent you've ever heard?
Keanu Reeves in Dracula goes without saying.
Okay.
But in terms of the level of effort that goes into it, i.e. none, Kevin Costner in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
You wish to end this? You wish to go home? Then we must stop fighting amongst ourselves and face that the price for it may be dear.
Just didn't even try. He's just like, I'm gonna get my ass out for this movie, and that's just gonna, like, he mooned, and I guess that was the closest to speaking British that you're gonna do.
I mean, it's a hard choice. I mean, Keanu Reeves, you can't go wrong with Keanu Reeves because it feels like after he attempted an accent in that movie, he basically was like, I'm never gonna do that again, and I'm just gonna be Keanu in every single movie that I do.
Which is the best advice you could give to Keanu, because that's all I want to see.
Pretty much. At this point, I love Keanu being Keanu. It's just, wait. I remember you saying that he carries around Shakespeare.
Well, apparently, I don't know if this is true, but I'm sure I saw an interview with him where he said that like he always carries like copies, like raggedy copies of Shakespeare plays around with him, and like that's what he's obsessed with. But you'd think like some of that accent might have rubbed off.
I mean, that's hilarious because I can only imagine Keanu saying one thing in his Keanu accent. Like,
right.
To be or not to be? Wow. Okay. All right. So we go from Tom Hardy being an evil asshole in The Revenant to Tom Hardy being an asshole covered in feces in Bronson.
Oh, the shit-talking movie.
You got it. All right. Let's take a look.
My name's Charles Bronson. There's nothing wonky about my upbringing. Like most kids, I got into trouble. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And all my life, I've wanted to be famous.
Already appearing on one of my earlier lists of dick-out fight scenes, Bronson is a movie that just keeps on giving. In this case, Tom Hardy giving us an early peek at just how good he was at modulating not only his looks, but also how he talks.
There was nothing wonky about my upbringing. My parents were decent, respectable, and upstanding members of society.
Tom became Brit for this movie, playing a career criminal Michael Peterson, later renamed Bronson, a man that has spent more of his adult life inside of a jail cell than free on the streets.
You fucking cunt!
No glass to my rifle.
And you can imagine this might fuck with one's brain and make them a little erratic, but the really interesting thing about Bronson is his theatricality.
And just when I was about to make a name to be reckoned with.
He's an artist as well as batshit insane, which makes Bronson talk in a sort of mishmash thespian mixed with a hardened criminal drawl. And because of this unique presentation of the character, the film is elevated beyond a simple prison drama to some real art shit, which makes sense since it was directed by a guy that loves insane art shit, Nicholas Winding Refn. Such as when he had Ryan Gosling do this in Drive. Whew, man, every time, it's like a freight train.
It's a weepy.
It's a little weepy. Or maybe, weepy with some nappies.
Yeah.
Because all that shit, which makes me wonder, what was he actually covered in? I know you want to know.
I'm going to go with shit.
Yeah,
Because considering the director, it's
yeah.
probably shit.
Yeah.
And
I know he likes to have his actors, you know, kind of just be in the moment and just kind of throw them in doing some weird shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, apparently there's scenes where he's on the stage, like addressing an audience. That audience was actually made up during filming of the real Bronson's friends and acquaintances and accomplices. So, you know, after that, being covered in actual human shit probably wasn't such a big deal.
And considering he used to be a crackhead, he probably actually rolled around some real human shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so that leads me to our next movie. We had the Cockney with Legend. We have the Grizzled Bear with the Revenant. Now we're gonna go to him as just a regular old American bloke. You see a team appropriation. High five. Okay, let's play.
It's good to know that you're sorry, Bob. It goes a long way. I think I liked you better when you were a drunk.
Warrior is one of my favorite movies of all times, with stellar acting, exciting fight choreography, and Tom's best American and most genuine accent to date. No frills, no crazy inflections of voice, it's just somber.
The Stones, man.
I fell in love. What the hell was I supposed to
You
do?
were supposed to stick to the plan. You were supposed to come with us. Mom needed you. I needed you. You're my big brother. You bailed on me.
Tom plays Tommy, an ex-Marine training to be an MMA fighter, who after meeting with his estranged father, Nick Nolte, asks for his help with training. Eventually, Tom has to fight his brother, Joel Edgerton, a former MMA fighter turned teacher who is also on hard times. But Tom never lets Nick into his world fully, still reeling from his father's past as an abusive alcoholic. And seeing Tom fight so hard against the love his father wants so bad to give him is heart-wrenching, while also authentic to the situation.
That's why they can't find the service records. What the hell happened over there, Tommy? That is none of your business, man.
This is the accent that I want him to be using in Venom.
Yeah, perfectly solid.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you know, coherent. He's got the right amount of gravitas. This is perfect.
It's like his character. It's like a no-nonsense brawler kind of accent.
Exactly.
You know, it just gets the job done. Doesn't like...
Not too many frills or anything like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
God, I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
All right, last up on the list, we have Tom Hardy doing a tour de force performance where he's stuck in a car the whole time, employing his best Welsh accent.
Right, you know, I'm actually part Welsh.
Ooh, okay. Well, let's see how well he did.
Yeah, someone closed the windows.
Well, did you talk to anyone about the pain?
No, no one's been in.
But is everything all right?
No. It hurts like nothing ever.
Okay, well, I'm on the M6. An hour and a quarter if the traffic stays okay. You must speak to someone about the pain.
Just then I felt like I hate you.
Well, we don't know each other, Beth, and that's the simple truth. This thing just happened.
Thing?
So we can't...
Tom plays Locke, a construction manager who abandons all of his obligations, including family and work, to drive 2 hours to be with a woman he had an affair with who's giving birth to their child.
What?
Something's come up. I can't get out of it.
Yeah, what did you say about coming home?
I won't be back for the match. Donald, look, I just need you to just fix this up and be all right, okay? I'm solid, which you are. Which you are, okay? Just from when the sun comes up tomorrow morning until when it's all been pumped.
Have you even told your wife that someone's having your baby?
I'm about to do that.
And in order to portray a man going through the worst 2 hours of his life, he employed a Welsh accent because, as he said, Welshmen have a salt-of-the-earth vibe to them. They are grizzled yet mild-mannered. Man, that was so good. Tom Hardy got robbed. He was nominated for nothing that year when this movie came out. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, no, tell me. Is it hard to do the regional accents? Like, why are Brits so good at doing the different British accents? Like, I'm terrible at doing a Southern accent.
Well, I think the reason for that is just proximity. Britain it's a really very small place compared to the States. Like what's your daily contact with someone from a southern state?
True, that's true.
Like in Britain, it's not outside the realm of possibility that like you just go out to the pub and like, you know, straight away like run into your mate like Manchester Baz. And then you leave and round the corner straight into some like, hello my lover, like West Country
So it just
boy.
goes all over the place.
His mate fucking Cockney Dave's right there. If you keep looking at me, I will peel your face off, son. Oh, God. And it's just like, you see all these, like you hear it like all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And like, it doesn't mean that you can necessarily imitate them, as I think I've just tragically demonstrated. But
it's true.
But you hear them and like they like you know what they're supposed to sound like in the wild. It's not like you've just been given a vocal coach and been like, today we're going to learn like a Tennessee accent. It's just like, no, you've actually like met at least
you see them like on a
half
daily
dozen
basis.
of these people.
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense. It's like if you go and you live in the South and you're around the Southerners for at least a couple months, you'll start to pick up on the inflections a little bit because you're hearing it all the time.
And you like you kind of understand like the expressions they're using and like how they sound natural and like, even just things like which words to put the inflection on makes such a big difference between nailing an accent and not.
That's how you know where people are from, based off of like the inflections, I'm assuming.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's all the Tom Hardy that I can do for today.
Well, wait, hang on, but this is a list of all the best Tom Hardy accents, right?
Yes.
And we're not going to talk about Bane in Dark Knight Rises?
I already talked about Bane a couple weeks ago when we did suggested movie titles and made fun of his voice.
But you can't make fun of that voice enough. It's so good.
I mean, I know.
It's so good.
I know.
Like, I'm flipping tables if we don't at least.
I'm
if
sorry.
we don't at least watch Bane Cat, which was maybe the single greatest thing to come out of the Nolan Bat trilogy, which is, and I like that trilogy, but Bane Cat was the pinnacle.
Agreed.
Come on, boy. Come on, you know you gotta get in the car. Why don't you ever listen?
Or perhaps he's wondering why someone would give him a treat before throwing him into that cage.
Peanut, you know I have to take him to the vet.
Do you feel in charge?
All right, and on that note, I know you gotta get back to work.
I'm out, but
I appreciate, take that with
I'm
you.
taking my curry with me.
All right, again, watch your insides. All right. Okay, if you want to continue the binge, here's a couple other Tom Hardy accents that you can watch as well. The Dark Knight Rises.
Peace has cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you.
The Drop.
That meant something.
Are you doing something desperate? Are you doing something that we can't clean up this time?
Child 44.
I need your help.
Why are these children so important?
This animal, he will not stop killing.
How are you gonna bring him to justice? Just the two of you?
Somebody has to.
Another child could die any moment.
I will stop.
And this is where you can find all the movies that I mentioned on this list. And on that note, after watching 5 Tom Hardy movies back to back, I kind of feel a little skinny. Gotta get some workout. All right, see you later. Oh. Ah.